Welcome back again to Gist with Casey. My fellow Gist mates. We are here again for another exciting episode. This time around, we are bringing sweet, juicy story from a beautiful couple that you would like. But before we continue, remember to like and share. Then subscribe to my channel. Please, I'm sure we will appreciate this. Just watch out as we continue into the program. So, my uncle, you're welcome.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for coming to Gist with Casey.
Thank you.
So, we want to know about you. How many years have you been married? If we will start with that.
Yeah, we are 25 this year,
Wow,
2024.
amazing.
We knew ourselves 1997. We started courting 1998 and married 15th of May 1999.
I like that detailed. It's detailed, giving us the date, the year. You have excluded the time. Maybe you would have given us the time of the whole thing. But looking at it for 20-something years,
That's correct.
so I know I'm speaking to Mr. and Mrs. Umunali Okolo. So 20-something years, it's not a small thing. Let's dive into it. So how has life been together for that 20-something years?
Well, if I must say, life has really been sweet and good. You know, to live with a man for 25 years
Wow, true.
and still loving him
True.
is good.
Mm.
It's good. It's been good. Life has been good. We thank God for the past 25 years we've been living together, and God has really been merciful to us as we come.
So, talking about this relationship now, let's dive into challenges, because for 20-something years, there are marriages out there that are going through issues and are not ready to say things about it. But you have come to Gist with Casey to let us know that these are things that have kept us going. So please, sir, what are the challenges that the marriage has gone through and has made people stand?
Well, marriage is all about challenges and overcoming. What is even marriage? If you look at it from that angle, two imperfect individuals agree to live with each other and love each other unconditionally. So from the outset, two of us are imperfect from different backgrounds. Definitely there are going to be issues. But how you manage the issues will determine how far you go. So we're able to manage our issues.
Okay.
Communication, we have to talk it out. When you communicate and say it out, you always have a way to amend things and continue to go along. Because definitely there are going to be challenges. So if someone tells you there's going to be no challenge in marriage, that is a lie from the pit of hell. There must be challenges, but how you manage the challenges will determine how far you go on that journey.
Okay, so, Auntie, looking at this 20-something years now, you have been with the same man for 25 years. So, and I know that marriages like this involve sex, definitely. So, how have you been feeling that you have been sleeping with one man? No, for one day you have not thought of looking at another dashing man that you see better than my husband or so. Hasn't it come to play in any time of the marriage?
Casey, we're here to tell facts. And fact is this: no woman will tell you that he's been with a man for my own now 25 years, and you say you've not thought of having somebody else. But one thing you have to know is that marriage, once you've gone to God and make that confession that you are going to live with this man, definitely devil is there to bring evil thoughts to your mind. But how you handle it is what matters. Yes, one has lived, I have had friends before I got married. Sometimes thought of it will come. But God, you are married. You are married. That marriage covenant keeps me going. That marriage covenant, I have covenanted with God and with this man that I'm going to live with him for the rest of my life. What is there out there that I'm looking for again? Yes, I won't deny you that the thought comes, but thank God we are all Christians. With the help of God, I overcome. And I showed that same thing with him.
Mm.
We overcome the challenge of temptation. That is what is called temptation. When the devil tempts you and tries to tell you this and that, and you say no. Jesus said, "Get behind me, Satan." So you just say, "Get behind me, Satan." Though it's not easy, but with prayer, you overcome. That's
But
how
when
it
that thought came, is this something that you can relate with your partner and say, "Oh, sweetheart," or whatever you call him, and you say, "Oh, I had this feeling today." Are you so comfortable to that extent?
Yes, he's such a person that I can discuss anything with.
Okay.
Yes, because when we got married, we created room for ourselves. We are open to one another. We are open to each other. So I can discuss it with him. But most times, I am kind of a private person. I don't know why. Maybe that was how God made me. I am private. But I know I communicate such with God. Not with him, but with God I do. Yes.
So meaning that when you say not with him, meaning that I don't want to give him that.
Yes, because you never can tell. So I don't want to give him that to start thinking, okay, this woman is thinking. You understand? It comes to me like it comes, but I cut it off.
So uncle, now with what Ati has said now, if with what you have heard now, because she has just said a fact,
Yes.
that she doesn't want to sow some things into your head, but would you have preferred that she should say it and you'll be relaxed, or you should have made you on your knees and or on your toes saying, am I safe, am I not safe? So how would you?
I prefer the way she kept it, because like you said too, those thoughts have come into my mind too, as a man too. Oh wow, the truth that you can't blind your eyes. So at times you do see, and something will entice you. I say, wow. But somewhere along the line, you have to suppress those thoughts. I've not even discovered those thoughts without you. Those thoughts have ever actually come to my mind too. I didn't discover that too. I have to just kill it and say, no, this way I've actually come to God. So those things are out of my way. People have suggested things, a lot of things to me. I know, but I say, no, that's out of it.
Okay.
So I prefer the way she kept it. I've not even, she's just hearing it for the first time, because no thought have actually come to my mind. Naturally it will come because we are human, you know, but you have to kill those thoughts.
So auntie, with these 25 years, have you had major challenges that you can share with us?
Challenges are major, a lot of them. But with God we have soared and we have conquered. Which challenges now will I talk? It is the challenges of having children. When I got married, I thought the next year I'll be having my kids. But for the past 25 years, no child. It was a big challenge, but we have overcome it. The past 25 years, I've had my issue outside this country, and God stood for me. So I've really had challenges. I've really had challenges, and God have seen us through. We have had challenges.
So in our discussion, because I know that we've had some discussions, and there is a case when you said outside the country. I know that there's a case of your health, that you had issues with your health. Please, can you give us insight on that?
Well, right now, if I would say I'm a retiree, but I was out of job before and now went into retirement, if there's something like that. Yes, in 2014, because I'm a regular traveler. I go to London. Whenever I'm on vacation, I travel to London. Behold, in 2014, I made the same trip as usual to London. Fine, it was a glorious trip. My boss had a wedding, which I attended with my brother, whose place I stay whenever I'm in London, my elder brother. We attended the party. It was a glorious one. We went, we came back. So it was 1 week to my return back to Nigeria from that journey. Prior to that period, as I was traveling, I had some things to purchase for my members in the church for a program we are having in August that year. So I've made the purchases, I bought everything. So it was 1 week to my coming. I called my husband in church on a Sunday. We discussed, and I told them I've bought all the things for the program focus. Said okay, and I was to come back the following week. I think the following Monday, right? Yes. On a was it on it could be on a Tuesday or so. I was with my brother's wife. We were just at the sitting room in London, gisting and all that. So at the stage she said, Auntie, I have to go and get the keys from the school. I said, yes, let me also go upstairs and have my bath. That was all I knew.
Mm.
That was all I knew. From what she told me after, that was after I came back to Nigeria. She said on her way on that discussion, after she said she was going to pick the kids, that she got a call from my phone. She was like, what auntie calling me if I've just left her? When she said, hello, 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 no sound, I didn't respond. She immediately reversed back, came back to the house. Behold, she saw me in the room with my wrapper on my chest, lying on the bed. She called and called me, no answer. She called 911. That was how I found myself in the hospital.
Mm. Mm.
My husband will give you the rest part of the story.
So please give us.
So, like he said, the brother later called me that night to say she had a brain hemorrhage.
Wow.
Blood rushed to her
To
brain.
the brain. Wow.
I know blood and brain don't mix. So they rushed her to the hospital and she was operated. And we just thank God that it happened there. Because as at that time, 2014, hospitals in Nigeria, the doctors were on strike.
It was.
So God made it to happen there. So she was in coma for many days. She was not responding to any treatment. There was a sign that said they want to pull out the something. But when the brother called me, I called my spiritual father, Pastor Emmanuel. I called Pastor Sheikh Abraham, and they prayed for me. And they called the pastors, and they all prayed. The brother told me the operation was this is going to take for 45 minutes, but it was more than 3 hours. I don't know whether it was 45 minutes, but my waiting was more than 3 hours. When he eventually called me, he said they have done it, it was successful. But 48 hours later, he said they discovered something else and that she was not responding. But God have it. They told them to keep her for 72 hours because they wanted to pull out the gadget so that she would just die.
My God.
But God stepped in with the prayers of my spiritual father and other pastors. She came back to life.
Wow. Wow.
The truth that when I get down to UK, for weeks he didn't know who I was. That's to tell you how severe
It was.
it was. He didn't recognize me. He didn't know who I was. She can't even speak. She only nodding her head. But God is faithful. God brought her out. There are things you do that God will use it to bring you out of problems. When she was traveling, it was a Monday. I could remember it was Monday she traveled. She went with Virgin Atlantic. The following Sunday was to be our welfare day. Then the church were doing the welfare at the first Sunday of the month. So it should have been easier for her to travel. But she gave me an envelope I should drop for her for the welfare day. The envelope she gave, I don't know whether it was a cash, whether it was a check. All I know is she said she gave me an envelope to drop for her. And I dropped it for her. That Sunday before the incident, our senior pastor, Pastor Sheikh Abraham, came to the church and said, you should pray for your husband, you should pray for your wife. And he quoted Psalm This is Psalm 41. It says, blessed are those who are kind to the poor, for I rescue them in time of trouble. You know? And I said, I will heal you and restore your health. Then I said, wow. So for giving to welfare. So when I get down home, I look at my Bible and I just find a lot of things in that verse of Bible.
Verse,
That's Psalm. And I say, wow. So when something happened, I used that as a point of contact. I said, Father, when she was traveling, it was easy for her not to give anything for the welfare because she wasn't in church then. But she dropped an offering for the welfare. And this is what you said in your word. You can't lie. What you said in your word is the truth. And said she has done her part. Father, why not do your own part? And I believe that brought about the testimony of what we're talking about. So in life, if you keep to covenant of what is written, there's always a way of escape. Because it should be easier for her not to give me an offering for the welfare. But she did that I should draw for her. And that is what we use to pray for her. And that thing worked out for her.
Wow. Well, in fact, Gist partners, you can hear this, that if the covenant, whatever you do, so what is that issue that you're going through? Hold on to something. Let's dive in and hear more about what they held on to that has kept them this far. So, Uncle, you said you believed with what your wife did because she just did something in her own belief and dropped it, and you helped to go back to God and say and remind him about this. During those periods of her crisis, did you ever have it in mind that, can I do this? I think her family should come and take over. Let me go and rest. Let me go and what's my benefit after doing this? Did it ever cross your mind, sir?
Nothing like that crossed my mind. You know why? When I took the oath, or let's say the covenant of marriage, I was the first person in my family line to come to church to wed. I never knew that was the thing, but I never knew I was taking a covenant that time. When I met my wife and I said, we're going to wed in the church, I wasn't that a serious Christian. But it just came to my mind, say, I want to wed in the church. So I was the first person that did that in my family. So when we are going through our crisis, no child coming like my wife said earlier, when you married first year, second year, we are making love, unprotected love making. You expect child to come. But when they didn't come, we waited, we went to hospital, we went everything, nothing came. We keep going. So when the crisis came, I know we are this together. What affected her affected me. And like you already asked, people from her family side said, oh, Nali, you've loved her for so long, nothing happened, so why not even abandon her? People from her family side.
From her own side?
Yes, when something came. I didn't tell her the people. I didn't tell her I've not told her the names. But people from her family said, Nali, you've done enough. Why not just leave? For everything good and bad. Your marriage said, for every good thing and every bad thing, you are in for together. So from the onset, when the crisis came, nothing crossed my mind that I'm going to leave her. No way. I know we are in this together, and God going to bring us out from it together. And here we are today. Wow. Because even the doctors there in UK didn't believe she's going to leave.
Are you serious?
Believe you me. They told me she's going to be a vegetable for life. The vegetable for life is the one moving around and running around.
The queen that you're enjoying now.
So it's God doing. So all along, I know that the best will come out of this situation. And here we are today. God has been faithful.
Auntie, with what I've heard now, It's really amazing. The story is amazing. So, and you said something that you are waiting for the fruit of the womb, and this issue now came to your premises. How did you take it? How did you take it, ma?
You see, you know what? If God is for you, there's nothing that can be against you. No matter what, once you believe in God, things will work out for you fine. Yes, all this, I had no child, and this problem came. To God be the glory, I came out of it alive. So when I came out of it, as against the doctors and people's belief, I became a human being and not a vegetable as they thought. So the child issue, even before I made the travel, we've been on this child issue for a long time. My husband, I thank God for you see, it's good to marry your own husband. And I thank God for the kind of man I married. All the period of our waiting, instead of me consoling my husband, was the one consoling me about the child issue. Baby, no problem. You have me, I have you. If children are not coming, we can kill ourselves. So we continue praying, we continue asking God. You know, a woman looking for a child. So many advice, do this, do
yes,
that, go here, go there. But one thing I know to God is that I never went to Babalawo to say I am looking for child. Yes, there were many advices. Do this, do that, do this, do that. I will tell my husband, he said, go. You know, because I can't go without his support. He will say, go. I went here and there. This with KC, I went everywhere. But I didn't go to the wrong places. We continued searching for the fruit of the womb. We went to hospitals, Lagos State General Hospital. We went, you know, all sorts, did all kind of tests on myself, on my husband. There was one we went to, he was the one that came and said, baby, there's child, that he was come back from work, he went to child welfare. If you can even adopt, you know, he went to child welfare, they gave him a form, we filled the form, they said they will come to our house, they will check, they came, child welfare people came, saw our places where we are living, it was all right, this and that. KC, we did everything, but at the end of the day, in fact, there was a time we went, they said we should come for interview for adoption. No.
Wow.
We went for interviews, come and see crowd. There was so much crowd because after all we have done with the hospitals ordinarily to test ourselves, everything, they say nothing is wrong. So why are we not getting pregnant? Why are we not getting pregnant? We held on to God. At a stage we said, okay, maybe God wants us to adopt. We now started the adoption process. The adoption process took us almost up to 5 years. We are still on the process of adoption
5 years
in
to get
Lagos
a child
State.
in
Yes.
Lagos State.
Yes. We went for child welfare. They took us to somewhere where we had interview, even Teslim Balogun Stadium, come and see crowd. A lot of people, we endured. At the end of the day, they gave us a piece of paper. Go to any orphanage near you, and when you drop it, my dear, that was how we continued.
Let me come in here.
Okay, sir.
You know, when our spiritual father, Pastor Olumide Emmanuel, he called us, people who were waiting, you know, on the Lord for children. And he spoke to us. And he talked about that we are all adopted children. You know, that's all adopted child of Christ. That why not look at that option? Adoption. That when adopt, who knows, maybe children can even come through that. So that was when that seed was sown in our hearts. And he now told us we should go to Lagos State. So I went to Lagos State Welfare Department to make inquiries and all those stuff. And we went through the process. So we went through all the legal process. Just like my wife said, they came to the house, checked everything. When we passed the interview, they gave us a paper and a letter that we are through. And when we are through with that too, we came back to our spiritual father, Pastor Lumidi Manuel. I even gave us a note to Samadeomi's wife's orphanage home. We are there too, you know. So instead of that, we endured a lot of things, went through a lot of homes. You know, so there was time came I told her that baby, we don't want to just stress ourselves. We don't have two lives. We have only one life to live. Let's enjoy this life. If it comes, good enough. If it doesn't come, we still have to live our life. And somewhere along the line, you know, we have our daughter today without stress. Because somewhere along the line, someone that is so close to me just called me one day to say, are you guys interested in this thing? I said, yeah. He said, there's an orphanage very close to her where her pastor adopted a child. And we went in there. It was just come easy, go easy. And today, I have a beautiful daughter.
Beautiful daughter. Wow. So, partners over there, I'm sure you have enjoyed this episode, this session. Well, I want you to stay tuned because we're going to be digging a little more into this adoption thing. So, but don't forget, like, share, and please comment on all our programs. Thank you. Welcome back again to Gist with Casey. Remember, like, share, subscribe to our channel, and you will enjoy every beautiful gist that you get. My gist partners, join me as we dive into the Umunali family to hear more gist. So, Uncle, you said something about adoption, that you adopted a beautiful girl now. Who is how old now?
8 years.
8 good years. Wow, wow. How amazing has it been?
Great.
Very interesting.
We can't even explain it.
Wow,
It's a
wow.
wonderful experience.
Wow, wow.
And God is faithful.
She's such an adorable girl.
Wow.
Really, people seeing it don't even believe she never came from my womb because God is so kind. She looks exactly like me, but of the father's height. Can you imagine?
Well,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful. I
yes.
really love the strength both of you have really shown and taught us, so many of us out there, to really stand for each other, because the crisis, so many people would have left each other. So many people would have abandoned their partners. But sir, you stood by your wife saying that, oh, this is it, and I'm going to stand by you for the rest of your lives. So, well, Auntie, you said something that you retired early. So meaning that you were once a career person. Was it the crisis that stopped you from going back to the corporate world? Or you just decided?
Actually, I've actually worked for a long time. So I've put about how many years in service? Nearly 20 years in service. So I felt I have to retire, because on that trip, I made that trip that as soon as I come back, I'll put in my retirement letter. That was my decision when I made that trip. But unfortunately, things happened the way they did. And actually, when I came back, I heard the company I was working with also had folded up. You know, so everything was working in line. That was what happened. That was what caused my retirement. Not though I had it in mind to retire as soon as I come back. But as God will have it, the company is folded up. With what happened to me, I can't go back to corporate world and actually no more work. So retirement.
But if you had
folded.
decided to work somewhere else, would you have gone for it?
No, why? Because I have already made up my mind that I have worked enough. So the retirement thing was already in my mind.
Okay.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. Not because of the issue, but because I've made up my mind not to work again, but to go to private thing.
With what we have talked about now, will you join me to say that UK trip turned some things around?
Yes, it really turned some things around.
It turned some
It turned things around.
Are we going to
yes.
say for good or for bad?
Well, for me, it's for good. The devil actually meant it for bad, but not knowing that God meant it for good for me. It turned things around for good for me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It hastened my retirement, number one. And it gave me time to discover who I am really. Because with the corporate world, I was so busy. Marriage, everything, I was too busy. But it gave me time to look after myself, look after my husband, look after my family. And it also gave me time to take care of the girl that God gave to me.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir and ma. I really appreciate this because this is a whole lot. Not everybody would give us insight into their home. Thank you. And I know that you would see many more years together. So thank you, my Gist partner, for staying tuned to our show. And I'm sure you enjoyed every bit of it. I look forward to giving you another episode. Share, like, and comment on all our social media handles. And please subscribe to my channel, Gist with Casey. See you again. Bye.